Hey there, Van Addicts. This is Ken Wilford here at Van Again, welcoming you out to our first annual Van Again Christmas Special Extravaganza. Okay, I don't know how much of an extravaganza it's going to be. Leah hasn't got any like dance moves or anything, or any kind of like musical solos or anything like that she's going to sing, but you never know what's going to happen in the Van Again Christmas special. Okay, when I was younger, I always loved like watching TV shows, and they would always have the Christmas specials. And I always actually liked them. I thought they were great. But so we're going to do a little bit of a Christmas special today. First of all, for us, we are Christians, so Christmas is special to us. We believe Jesus came as the Savior of the world, and he was born on Christmas. We don't know the exact date, but hey, December 25th, you can't prove it wasn't that day, so there you go. So we just take this time of the year, celebrate it, and hope you guys have some celebrations too with families and friends. But it's just a special time of year for us. We get to hang out together, spend a little more time together. And, the weather here in New Jersey is not the greatest. So why not have some parties and get-togethers and spend time doing fun stuff. So that's basically what our Christmas is to us. I hope if you guys have any Christmas things, one of our traditions we like to do is get in our vehicles and drive around, look at Christmas lights, and just kind of see who's got the most insane and crazy lights out there. So, that's a good excuse to get in your van and drive around and see something going on out in the world and get out of your little, sometimes you get in the little winter cabin fever situation. You can get out there with your family and just check out Christmas lights and decorations and just go, man, I can't believe those people, all the things you say, right? Their electric bill must be expensive. They must have too much time on their hands. They must have lots and lots of money to buy all those presents or all those Christmas lights, but whatever. And so we always do that. We have a great time every year. We usually go after our church's Christmas program, but that didn't happen this year. But maybe on Sunday we'll go out and do that and just check it out. All right, so guys, hope you guys are here because one of the things for those, you guys are here every week. Some of you guys are here every week. I know some of you folks, you'll be listening to this tonight, tomorrow, because you can't be here. And for you folks, I definitely appreciate you as well. But I super appreciate everybody that's here in the chat and comes and hangs out with us. And so this week, next week, we're going to be giving away our calendar, for our Patreon people. We still have our 3 Patreon subscribers, Eric Schneider, Chris Snyder, and Peter Benici. So one of those 3 is going to get our calendar next week when we do our giveaway that way. But this week, I have 2 presents, right? It's Christmas. One of the things about Christmas is presents. And really, a present isn't a present unless you're giving it to somebody, right? And they're not giving you nothing back. So this year, I got 2 presents to give away. Let me angle this so you can see it. What this is, of course, is something every Vanagon owner needs. They put it in their van. And when you get all dirty and greasy because your van did something crazy and you got to fix it real fast on the side of the road, you whip out this stuff right here. It is hand wash paste. That's all one word in German. It says, free of sand for the gentle but intense cleansing of extremely stained or dirty hands. It's made by Phoebe, which is a German company, and it actually is made in Germany. So as you're here in our chat today, say hi, shout out to us in the chat situations. And we're going to pick 2 of you guys, and then you need to give me your address or something so I can send you your Christmas present from Van Again. So that's one of the things that's our Christmas special is we're giving away 2 Christmas presents. I know it's nothing crazy, but it's just something to say thanks to a lot of you guys that are here every single week. And so we definitely appreciate that. I also am showing you my appreciation today because I have lubricated this chair and also this chair. So guess what? Nothing. Okay, there you go. So all of you out there that were excited about the chair, Chairgate and whatever, because our chairs were always squeaking like crazy, that is taken care of finally. I also want to say thanks to an anonymous person this week who is in Hawaii, who just said thanks and mailed me a $10 bill in the mail with no return address and no name and no nothing. Okay, so they just wanted to say thanks to us for some kind of help that we gave to them, and boom, they just sent $10 in the mail. So that's awesome. So thank you, random Hawaii person. They might be watching this live stream right now, but thank you very much for that. A couple of things I wanted to talk to you guys about, some stuff. Do we have anybody shouting us out into the comments?
We have Brent Wade that says hi and hoping everyone has a great holiday. Steve Reuter is with us. He says Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Chuck Ott says hi from Delaware.
Okay.
And Brent Wade was talking about the hand cleaner.
Oh, the hand cleaner. Okay. Yep. So, I mean, like I said, everybody can use hand cleaner.
And Michael Heine is here, too.
Yep. I see Mike. He's saying hi. He's watching. All right. So, all you guys and anybody else that comes in, we'll give away our hand cleaner towards the end. And then we'll kind of notify you about who is going to win that. So one of the things I want to talk about just for a minute, I like to, when I see vans in the media, right, you guys are like me. When you drive around, you're looking around your area, you come across vanagons or buses, and it just kind of, bam, like jumps out at you. I was watching the show Lost, which is on Netflix until January 4th. So it's basically been on there for a couple years. I decided to start watching it just randomly, and then I'm like, oh, I have to hurry up and finish it because it's going to be gone in a couple weeks. So one of the things about the show Lost that I hadn't watched it back in the day. I watched the first season, and then I lost interest for whatever life things happened. But probably like season 5, you get a lot of airtime of Volkswagen buses on the show. And a lot of you guys probably know that already. Okay, but it looks to be, they had about 4 or 5 buses they used in the show on season 5. I think they were probably 68 to 71s in that range. And it's just cool to see them on the show. They're all blue, and you can kind of tell they've been repainted and different things for the show. But it's kind of cool. I mean, even in the show, there's some lines about one of the girls is working as a mechanic on the buses. And she asked this other girl, so how good are you with the flat 4? And the other girl's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's kind of cool to see buses in media that way. If you guys have a favorite thing with a bus in media, let me know. There's also one other thing. I want to show you this in our screen share. Let me go to that real quick. There's a game out there that's super popular right now that is called PUBG. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this. It's called PlayerUnknown's Battleground. And if you play any video games, this is basically the game right now for computers. It's also on Xbox and PlayStation. But they just released an update on the computer version with, guess what? This bus right here is one of your vehicles. And you can kind of see they've modified it a little bit. It doesn't have a Volkswagen emblem. It has 4 headlights instead of just 2, but it's obviously a Volkswagen bus. Believe me, if you see the back shot, the motor's in the back, it looks just like a bus, like a split window bus. So it's kind of cool to see that in the media where people are, cashing in or whatever on the popularity of the Volkswagen bus. If you guys have, like I said, another bus sighting or Vanagon sighting in media, just let me know, because they always kind of jump out at me out there. All right, so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, was just seeing Volkswagens in the media. Another thing I wanted to talk about was this right here. Since I'm into the screen share, we talked about the Crafter 2 weeks ago. Okay, it is the replacement for the LT. It's the replacement for the Sprinter Volkswagen, hybrid thing that they did. Now we have the Crafter. And one of the things that Volkswagen had told people about the Crafter was that, you know, right away in 2017, they were going to have an electric-powered Crafter. Okay, so it's down to the last week of 2017. Volkswagen decided, hey, we got to keep our promise. So they came out with the e-Crafter. It started getting delivered, I think it was yesterday. It was on the 21st, whatever day that was. Yeah, yesterday. Okay, so the e-Crafter started getting delivered limitedly to test fleet things yesterday. And really, it's just a test thing right now. So they are being delivered to probably like FedEx and people like that for testing purposes only. It only has a top speed of 56 miles an hour. Okay, so you can definitely tell meant to be in city for deliveries. It also has a range of 100 miles. Okay, so again, it's not really something that you would use as any kind of long range type vehicle. And really, I don't think you could probably even buy them right now. Like they're probably like leasing them out to delivery companies to just use for testing purposes so they can see, hey, you know, how is this thing going to hold up in everyday use? But I thought it was pretty cool for Volkswagen to put this e-Crafter out there, and, you know, that way people can kind of see, hey, we are, you know, getting into this. Eventually, one day, we're going to be into the electric thing. So that was a couple things I wanted to show you. I'm going to stop doing the screen share. We'll go back to the camera. So, you know, let me know what you think about the e-Crafter. I mean, it is getting closer for us to have a Volkswagen van that's electric, that's actually being sold. You know, we talked about the Buzz ID as well. That's still out there. That's still pie in the sky. Will it happen? Won't it happen? But the e-Crafter is happening, at least as a test bed. Okay. All right. Do we have anything to discuss in the comments?
Ellie the International says, Merry Christmas from the Franks. Steve Reuter says, first scene of Atomic Blonde Vanagon scene.
Okay. Haven't seen that movie yet, so we'll have to check that out.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's not.
No, wait, never mind.
It's actually a very new movie.
I saw a teaser for it. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, wow. Another movie
I haven't seen that yet, so we'll have to see.
Oh, boy. Here's Costas. Costas says hello.
And Costas is in the building. Now, Costas, I don't think I'm going to be sending this hand cleaner to Greece, just FYI. Although, since it is Greece, they could probably use it over there. I think one of the things on here says cuts Greece. All right, so I don't want to hurt you, so we're going to leave it here in the U.S. I can't afford to send hand cleaner to Europe or even Australia. Sorry about that, but we're going to limit it to U.S. peoples so it can be like realistic. Okay. So it's good to have all you folks with us. Thanks for being with us, definitely. And like I said, I hope you guys are getting ready for Christmas. So one of the things we've been working on in the background, Mike and I have been doing a lot of talking and researching about this, is the idea of a lithium battery for a Vanagon. Okay, so you know you have the secondary battery, you have that set up so you can have things running in your van, like your fridge, your lighting, your radio, all that good stuff. And one of our most popular YouTube videos we've ever done is the secondary battery install video, which is still doing great after all these years. And so one of the things, though, that's kind of been a bugaboo about the whole secondary battery thing is the fact that, you know, a lead acid battery just doesn't really hold up that great. Okay, you can set it up. It might be okay for a couple years as long as you don't take it below 50%. If you take it below 50% or it sits in your car and goes down below 50%, it hurts the battery. And then it's kind of on a downward spiral about how much capacity it has, how much longer it's going to last. I mean, you can take a lead acid battery and it can be in there for like 2 years and it can be basically wrecked completely. A lithium battery is a lot different. So say you have a lead acid battery. On our video, we string like 3 of them together in parallel, make 100 and something, or I think it was actually 66 amp hours out of that. Okay. We found a lead acid battery that has 58 amp hours. Okay. It's a single battery. So it's very similar in capacity to the 3 batteries that we show in our video. But the difference is lead acid, like I said, if you go below 50% of your capacity when you're using it, it will harm the battery. You have to make sure you fully recharge it. You really want an actual dedicated charger for it that can, bring it back up and that kind of thing. On the lithium, it actually comes with a charge controller that makes sure it's being charged properly. And then it also, your capacity, say it's 50 something amp hours, you can actually use all of that. Okay, you can use all of it. It won't hurt the battery to deplete it all the way down to the bottom and then fill it back up again, recharge it back up again. Like I said, so really, if you have a 66 amp hour lead acid battery, you really only can use 33 amp hours of that. Okay, so you have to basically over battery yourself to be able to use things the way you want. In lithium, you don't have to do that. Okay, you don't have to do that. Now, that's the good side. And lithium doesn't have the same kind of battery memory thing. Depleting it all the way down is actually, I think, one of the ways that recommended to use it. And it's just a way better. It's lighter. Okay, all kinds of stuff. Now, are you ready for the downside? Of course you are. There's always a trade-off. Right now, lithium batteries are extremely expensive. So the lead acid batteries, 66 amp hour, it would cost you probably like 120, 140 range, something like that. The lithium battery is going to be probably $600. Okay, so you can see it's like exponentially more expensive. But if it lasts exponentially longer, okay, so if your lead acid battery only lasts a year or 2 years, you can get 5 or 6 years out of a lithium, then it would be worth it because then you're replacing it less. It's less fiddly. It's less of a pain and that kind of thing. So it's something that Mike and I are working on. We actually have a battery that I think we're about ready to purchase and start testing it. So we'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks. I may be reporting back on that, but it's going to take testing like over the course of months. So we can get it, test it over the course of the winter, hopefully, and then have some news in the springtime about how it performs and that kind of thing. So stay tuned on that. All right, so that's one thing. We're talking about the lithium batteries. Of course, we talked about solar panel setups too. I mean, that would be a perfect thing. The battery we're thinking about selling comes with a charge controller that you can easily hook a solar panel up to. 100 watts solar panel you can stick up on the roof pretty easily, especially a flexible one, and just glue it up there, that kind of thing. So again, stuff we're still working on. The cruise control, I about have that ready to go. We talked about our aftermarket cruise control system. I have that all about ready to go for people. So if you're interested in the cruise control, please send me an email. Let me know, and you can be one of the first people to get that. I'll probably give the original first people with the aftermarket cruise control a discount on it. So we'll see what happens. All right, do we have any comments? Liz and her laughing.
Sorry, Faustus was asking about my hoodie. It's not Star Wars Day. I just bought this today and got excited about wearing it, so I'm wearing it. Yeah, that's what that's about. Steve Ritter said about the battery, it would only last around 1,000 to 2,000 charges with a normal LiPo battery. How about the Life battery? L-I-F-E? Is that a special kind of battery?
I will have to look into that. Yeah, the Life battery. I don't know. That is a new one on me. I mean, 1,000 charges on a lithium, you would have to be using it every single day, for that to be less than like multiple years. Okay, so the way most people use their van is just a few times here and there, maybe a week trip, 2-week trip. So thousands of recharges, that would be like years and years and years of use. If you're full time in it, then maybe it would be
lithium iron.
Lithium iron. Okay.
Yes, I think maybe his autocorrect was.
I mean, the one we're looking at is a lithium ion. I don't know about a lithium iron, so I'll check into that one for you. But it's not, we've been researching this for a while, believe me, to trying to find something that's not super expensive. I mean, some of these batteries could be $800, $900, $1,000. You know, I mean, the price of them is really up there. So we'll continue on. I'll look into the lithium iron. You know, anything the newest, latest, and greatest technology is always going to also be the most expensive. So that's the downside. As the things come into the mainstream and get, you know, cheaper, because they're getting more, you know, readily available.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Li lithium, Fe iron. So I guess that's why it's called a life battery, because it's lithium iron.
Yep. Yeah, so Mike's saying 1,000 full discharges, not a maintained battery hooked to solar. So, yeah, I don't know what that means. You know, if you don't fully discharge it, is it going to be every single time you use it? Is that considered? That's not going to be considered a full discharge. So, yep. Yeah, he says, look at a Prius. It's working every day, but not fully discharged. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, the lithium batteries that we're talking about, lithium ion, I mean, they are used in electric cars that are supposed to at least last for 5 years of use, like everyday use. So I'm thinking, you know, lithium battery used for a Vanagon in their camping stuff, you know, since it's not being used like every single day, most people, it would be multiple years. Even if you were like a full-timer person, I would think it would last you at least 4 or 5 years. And again, that would be way more use than you would get out of a lead acid, believe me. Okay, they don't really hold up that great over time. All right, so I wanted to talk about the cruise control. That's a thing. If you're interested, let me know on that. Also, I had a meeting with a customer of mine. This guy works for the military. He works for the Navy. And he works for actually the Navy aviation branch. Okay. He's a colonel in the Navy. He's got a couple years still in there. He's also did projects with NASA. He works for Gulfstream right now. And he is also a Volkswagen fanatic. He's got like at least 7 vans right now at the moment. But one of the things he's interested in talking about, he's thinking about developing an alternative engine control system, okay, for the Vanagon, for the water boxer. Okay, so you see today we have the engine conversions, right? We've got Subaru, we've got Bostik, we've got these different, more modern setups where they're using OBD2, and you can get codes out of the computer. You can do this and do that. I mean, his idea is to kind of treat the water boxer to the same thing. Okay, I know Go Westy has an alternative engine management system that they're selling for about $2,000. Okay, maybe a little bit more than $2,000. I haven't really looked into it that much. This guy is talking to me. He says I can put together an engine management system, make it cheaper, make it more redundant than what Go Westy is doing. And the goal would be to be up 100% of the time. This is what he does in the Navy. Okay, so he actually was involved in like taking old technology, I think it's F-14s, which is in Top Gun. He was involved in retrofitting them with new digital technology. He's like, you know, when we did that, we integrated it into the airplane to make it look stock and give the plane more capabilities and different things and have more redundancy and all that kind of stuff. And it just worked out really well. So he wants to do the same thing for the Vanagon. Take an ECU, make a custom one that has like multiple computers inside it. And that way, if one computer has a problem, the other one is there. It can take over. It can send you a code telling you, hey, this one's having a problem. It can send you codes about, you know, you can actually have Bluetooth capability with it to your phone, and it can tell you about what's going on with the van. We were also talking about replacing some stuff like the distributor, replacing that with a speed sensor, hall sensors and things, so you're not having to deal with, bad distributor versus, speed sensor. A speed sensor is usually more reliable. And so a bunch of different ideas he's throwing out there. If you guys have any ideas on that, let me know. If you have any experience with the Go Westy, the new fuel injection system that they're developing, let me know as well. It's just something that's in the pipeline. He doesn't have time right now. He actually does have access to some rapid prototyping things that they have in the Navy. That's code words for like 3D printing and stuff like that. So he's like, if we got into this, I could 3D print up some adapters and different things. So it's an interesting idea. Let me know what you guys think about that. I don't think it would be that much cheaper than Go Westies. It might be around in the same range, $2,000 range, or maybe cheaper. But if it could be, reliable, robust system that, his idea, like I said, is low downtime. Okay, low downtime. Like in other words, you're traveling on a trip, this thing is going to keep running. If this part fails, it switches to another part. Okay, so maybe we still have a distributor. That's like your backup, and you have a speed sensor as well. And if one of those, and the computer checks both. If one of them fails, it just switches to the other one. Okay, it's kind of like the mindset of the airplane mindset, where they don't want to, break down because there's no place to pull over to the side of the road. When you're flying through the sky, it's either it's working or you're dead. So you want to keep working. So that's his mindset, and he was talking about it. We sat here and talked about it for like 2 hours the other night, and he's into it. So we'll see what happens on that. I mean, anything you guys think about as an idea for a project like that, let me know, because I'm definitely appreciate your thoughts. Do we have any more comments in the thing? Does anybody have any questions about their van? Like they're having a problem right now, and they need help? I would definitely be glad to help you out. I mean, this is Christmas, so we're giving away advice presents. What do you think? Anything?
Mm-hmm.
Any?
Process was just talking about Go Westy.
Oh, okay. In a negative way? Okay, we don't talk about other people in negative ways here.
This is a positive place.
This is positive.
This is positive.
Keep it positive, people. All right? You can talk bad about my flannel shirt, but don't talk bad about all the people stuffing things. All right? I'm not saying bad stuff about their stuff. They've tried to develop different things like that a few times, and it always seems like they run into just as much issues with it after they do the new thing as they did with the old thing. The plus side on the water boxer stuff is that system is well known. Okay, all the problems are very well known and very well documented. So if somebody calls me and they say, I'm having this particular problem, I'm like, I can pretty much tell you what it is because I know the problems, right? And people think it's witchcraft. It's like, oh, you know that? Oh, that's so great. Well, 20 years, you know the problems. When you switch to something new, it's kind of an unknown for a while until you learn, is it any better, right? And I think that's what they have ran into several times with different ideas they've had where, okay, we're going to do this new idea about like a throttle body or something like that. And then as people have used it, they're like, I'm having problems with it. It's like stuttering. It's doing this. It's doing that. And eventually, sometimes they even pull the stuff back. They're like, okay, well, you know what? We're having so much problems with this, whatever it is, like it's not even worth putting it out there. We're going to pull back on it a little bit and reassess it. Is it worth it or not worth it?
Steve Reuter wants to know if you've heard back from that air-cooled customer.
Air-cooled customer? Which one would that be?
Hear from that air-cooled customer of yours? I don't really know what it is.
I mean, I hear from so many people, Steve, every week. It's crazy. But
so many people.
If you can remind me what I'm supposed to be talking to them about, that would be great.
Brent Wade says, Ken, just replaced my 91 Vanagon multivan passenger side headlight. Okay. The unit is not airtight, but otherwise in great shape. Do you restore these or know of anyone who could make use of it? Hate to throw it away.
I don't really know the best way to restore it. They had like a sealant on it, almost like a putty. And what I've heard is that if you heat it up in an oven to like 350 degrees, you can take it apart and you can put it back together, and maybe you could reseal it that way. But I mean, you could possibly use some clear silicone around it where it meets the metal and try to like make it airtight that way. Or you could heat it up in the oven and try to take it apart and see what's going on. I imagine some of that putty has either dried up or has a crack or something. If you reheated it and took it apart and put it back together again, maybe it would reseal. So that's the only idea I have on that. We have new headlights that are being manufactured right now. They're supposed to be available in January, and we have like 20 sets of them coming. So that's my recommendation right now. If you can't get that fixed, we're gonna have some brand new housings available, and they're not really going to be that expensive either. So H4s, inner and outer, H4 outer, H3 inners, and the price on them is going to be around $400, $425, something like that, depending on how much it cost me to get them here. Okay, and that's going to be an awesome price, believe me. It's going to come mounted on backing plates, inner outer light, head adjusters installed, just ready to basically pop it on there. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's move on. So I definitely appreciate your questions, guys. Anybody have any more questions?
For the AFM.
Oh, they're from here. You know, I have never heard back from him, Steve. So usually that's good news. Like if you hear back from somebody, usually that's bad news because they're telling you, hey, this thing you gave me doesn't work. Okay. I mean, what I feel like was going on was there was probably like multiple problems with this van. And this shop that he's at, they have a reputation that's not the best. Okay. So their reputation is they basically throw parts at stuff until they randomly figure out what it is by doing that. I'm assuming that's what's going on in this situation, that they said, hey, this airflow meter is bad. And they bought this one, got this one from you. I told him, like, Steve, this guy put it in a van. He tested it. I know it's good. So they put it in there, and maybe it fixed the problem, or maybe it still has the same problem. So now they're moving on to something else. But I have not heard back. So when I hear back, I'll let you know, definitely. All right. And then we're still working on our idea for the digital dashboard using a LED. Like really what I'd like to do is use a tablet as your dash, and we're going to interface with the van with either an Arduino or Raspberry Pi. If you're a person that is good with that stuff, okay, you say, hey, I know Arduino stuff backwards and forwards. You say, hey, I know Raspberry Pi stuff backwards and forwards, and you want to help us with this project, please let me know. I mean, I can learn this stuff and do lots of research, but if you're already an expert in that field and you want to help with this project, either interfacing the sensors with the board, or writing code for these units, microprocessors, either way, just let me know. Or if you have a 3D printer and you want to say, I want to print out this device for the front of the instrument cluster that's going to hold the tablet so we can mount it on here, okay, any of that stuff, okay, please let me know, and we'll be glad to get any help we can get, okay, with these different projects. But these are another thing we talked about a couple weeks ago, the digital dashboard. I think it's something that we can make a reality, make it to be something that would be a big help to the Vanagon community, because of the instrument clusters really just crumbling to pieces, over the years. So, all right, what's going on back there?
Oh, Brent was saying thanks for the advice, and he says they'll probably wait till after Christmas so the oven doesn't stink.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only. I have some lights I'd like to experiment with and heat them up, take them apart. But it's really better if you have an oven or something somewhere that doesn't smell bad. Like you can heat in it, because it might be, cause stuff to stink up your oven. You just never know. All right.
Michael Ackland says, all right, Smarty Pants, 86 Synchro. I'm having a hesitation at 2K RPMs while accelerating at stoplights usually.
All right, so the first thing I would check is probably throttle position switch. Make sure that's working properly. If you're going to take off and it's hesitating, I've had a lot of problems with bad spark plug wires causing that too. Even sometimes when you have brand new ones and they can be defective and stuff. So I would definitely check those two things out. The easiest way to check out spark plug wires would be to either wait till night and look in there and see if you see any arcing, or you can take like a little spray bottle with just water in it and have the van running, and then just spray the wires like one at a time until the van starts running messed up again. So that's the things I would recommend. Throttle position switch. I have a video on that. Take a look at that.
He got a new throttle position switch / TV.
Okay. So is it the new one that's like a Hall effect one? I don't even know how to test them, but I'm sure there's a way to test them and see if they're adjusted properly. They come with instructions on how to set them up. So if you got a new one, most likely make sure it's set up properly and working properly. The other thing I would definitely see is the spark plug wires, because they will make the van hesitate and cause all kinds of weird problems.
It's the GW one. It said it was pre-adjusted.
Pre-adjusted, okay. I mean, I think they've had problems with that, just to be honest with you. If you look on the Samba, that was actually the part I was talking about. That was something that they developed, and then people had issues with it. So, yeah. But, again, spark plug wires, definite thing. Sometimes, too, the third thing that I'd be a little hesitant to mess with is the airflow meter. Sometimes, if you open the lid on it, you'll see the track in there. And let's see, I got one right here. Okay, I don't recommend everybody popping these suckers open, but most of them, if you go to the thing off, it's already off already. So you look in here on this track, and you'll see the potentiometer thing. I mean, these are how these are made up. If we're developing a new airflow meter, fuel injection system for the van, this thing is going bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to have a air mass meter instead, or air mass sensor, which has no moving parts. Because one of the problems with this thing is, you see this thing moving across this track. It's a carbon track right here. Over time, these has 2 points, so it's trying to be redundant a little bit to have 2 places that it's reading resistance readings off of. But you'll see maybe at the 2000, there's a white spot right there. Okay, and that would be a bad spot on the track. So that could be a possibility too. It really just depends on how old it is, how worn it is. I mean, this one's actually, out of a Beetle, but it looks awesome inside. Like, there's no white spots in here. You can see these 2 little places where the thing goes over. They're shiny, but it looks pretty much like new on the tracks. But I've seen them where, they are worn, and you'll see white spots where it's worn. You can tweak this little thing, too, to make it like you can take this arm off, put a little washer under it, put it back, and it'll actually move where the things touch. And you can kind of get a little bit more life out of your airflow meter that way. There's a video on YouTube on how to do that. I've seen that before. It's not mine, but it works pretty good. So I'm thinking my number 1 suspect would be throttle position switch. Number 2, spark plug wires or some kind of spark plug issue. Number 3, airflow meter. Number 4 is the infamous oxygen sensor thing. So, that would be, we've talked about that a bunch of times. If you turn the ignition off, turn it back on while you're driving, and the problem goes away, it's a problem with either the oxygen sensor or the wiring to the oxygen sensor. Very common problem that's happening with the engine harnesses because they're getting age. And they're basically breaking down physically. The wiring shielding is breaking down. You can have issues. So if you're turning the ignition off while you're driving down the road, turn the ignition off, then just turn it back on. You don't have to engage the starter. the van will come back on, run, and if it runs way better, like, oh, I have lots of power now, the thing's running smooth, and then about 60 seconds, it goes back to running like crap again, okay? It's the oxygen sensor. The computer looks at every single sensor immediately when you turn the key on, except the oxygen sensor. It has a time delay. And so if you're turning it off and on, and it gets better for like 60 seconds, and then it goes to running bad again, it's because the computer's ignoring it for 60 seconds until it's, then when it starts looking at it again, it goes, wah, starts going all crazy again, has a bad reading. So that's the stuff I would look at. I mean, it could be something completely different, but most of the time it's one of those things.
Brent Wade says, just finished a complete headlight restoration, new adjusters, and your LED bulbs working great. Thanks.
Thanks, man. A lot of people have been buying those LED bulbs. We've been selling the heck out of them things.
They're pretty cute.
So, and the round ones, which, people bought a set of them last week while we were having the live stream. I mentioned them last week. But those things are awesome, man. I mean, I wish there was a square one like that was just like its whole unit without no bulb, because them round ones, man, they will blast it out. So
earlier, Jason Schwan asked, do you sell heater core rebuild kits?
I don't. We sell new heater cores. So he's talking about maybe a kit to redo the heater box where you have the core and the motor. Maybe. We sell new heater cores. They're made by JP Group, and they're like all aluminum. That's what I would recommend. And then as far as the blower fan goes, the Melee blower fan is what I would recommend, because it's so close to the original. We have both of them in our web store. So if you had those two things, and a set of clips, which I think we sell in there as well, that would be pretty much all you would need, except if you want to rebuild the little flaps and stuff, you would need some foam. You can buy that at like Home Depot. And I don't really sell that because it's like something you can easily buy at Home Depot. All right. So we got any more questions? You guys, I appreciate the questions. I like helping people out on here, answering real questions instead of just rambling for hours.
And Steve Reuter and Spencer, hold on, I have to start over. Steve Reuter and Spencer Allen are also trying to help out Michael in the comments. In the chat.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it very much. We got some knowledgeable guys on here. Steve is a very knowledgeable guy, and some of you other guys, I mean, you've been doing the Vanagon thing for years and years yourself. So, I definitely appreciate it. All right, so we got 13 people in the chat right now. I think it's a good time to do our presents.
Oh, boy.
Okay, do the presents. So how are we going to do this?
Oh, that is
I have no idea how we're going to pick people.
That is an excellent
to give the presents, too. We got like I said, I think we should limit it to the United States. So, unfortunately, Costas, you're out of the running. Anybody that's in another country...
I mean, I
just can't afford to mail this.
I can't really tell, other than Costas, who else is like.
Well, Peter Benici, if he's here, he's in Australia.
He's in Australia. So I mean, I guess if you're in the chat and you live in the U.S., maybe just say like U.S.
If you're in the chat and you would like to be considered for the gift of the hand wash paste,
the gift of cleanliness,
the gift of it's close to godliness, supposedly. Go ahead and give us a shout out, and we will make a decision on who we're going to give it to, some way, shape, or form. I think I'm going to give out both of them right now. I'd like to wait and give another one out to the people that are going to watch it later, like say the person that does a comment or something. Because I know a lot of people, they can't be here for this, and they want to be. They wish they could be here. Maybe I'll buy one more. All right, so we'll do two now. I'll give away one to the people who are watching this. So maybe like the first person tomorrow on Saturday that gives me a comment on the thing, and they say, "Hey, I'm in the USA. I want a present." Okay, I'll give another one out tomorrow. So we'll give away 3. Okay. All right, so. Let's see, who wants it? Who wants some hand cleaner?
Mom says maybe write names down and draw one out.
Yeah, we can do that. So we'll get a few people. They want the hand cleaner, and then we'll do a drawing.
Steve and Chuck say they're both in the U.S.
Okay, so Steve DeRuiter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, Steve does all kinds of nice stuff anyway. So we got him on there. Chuck Ott, he lives over in. If he gets it, he can drive over and pick it up. He lives in Delaware. He's been here like 1,000,000 times. All right, who else we got?
Let's see.
Anybody else would like the gift of hand cleanliness?
So far, we just have Steve and Chuck.
Okay.
Anyone else, if you're interested in this, just...
I mean, if that's all it is, that makes it real easy for me.
Yeah, that's super easy. I mean, we already have 2 people.
Wow, let's see. 2 people.
If any of you are interested in this, just, like, let us know that you're in the U.S. and we'll write your name down so we can draw it out and pick out some people.
Like I said, I just like to do stuff for the people that are here every week. I mean, I know Steve is here every single week. Chuck is here a lot as well, I know, because he always references it when he stops by and talks to me and whatever, buys stuff. So we definitely appreciate it. And it's just our way of saying thanks to you guys, for being faithful members or whatever you want to say of our community, helping you guys out a little bit. I know Costas, he wants any free thing he can possibly get his little mitts on. I'm sure he would love to get a free thing of hand cleaner. He's always muxing with his van as well, so I'm sure he could put it to good use. Well, I will give us another couple minutes here, and then we'll see if we just want to give these 2 away. And to you folks at home who aren't here in the stream right now, I encourage you to be here because we will be doing stuff like this occasionally. We'll be giving away free stuff to the people who actually show up. Okay? But if you're a faithful, like I said, Saturday morning cartoons person that I talk about that watches this, most of our views happen today, right now. Well, stuff happens now. Then people watch it like this evening, then tomorrow. Okay? That's when we get most of our views. So if you're watching it, and say tonight or like this morning, like Saturday morning at some point, and you say, I would love to have a hand cleaner as a gift. You put that comment in or some nice comment about Merry Christmas to Vanagan, guys. I would like some hand cleaner. I'll make a decision on that. I'll do a drawing on that tomorrow. So everybody that does that comment tomorrow, we'll do a drawing on that.
Spencer Allen says he's in the Chicago area. So we have one more.
So we have one more. So we got Spencer.
Mm-hmm. Costas is sad because he's in Greece and not the U.S.
Well, I hear you.
I mean, we can't help that, Costas. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. All right. Well, what do you think? Should we do a drawing between those 3 guys?
I mean, is there anybody else? Anybody else?
I mean, we got like 12 viewers right now, so we're probably one of them. But
I mean, probably.
My wife is watching.
I'm probably one of them. Mom is probably one of them.
I don't know if the Texas boys are watching.
I don't know.
They can get there because it's a Christmas special. I don't know if they're watching.
I know. The title Christmas probably Shun Christmas. You must be Shun.
Shun, shun,
Shun, shun,
shun, unshun, shun.
We will unshun you after Christmas.
That's right.
After the pagan holidays.
So pagan.
We're so pagan.
All right.
Sorry,
we're not going to get into that. Inside jokes.
That's a low-key inside beef we got.
Inside joke things.
Mom is like,
yeah, that's right. Doesn't want us to get shunned forever.
Whoops.
All right, I'm making up the lotteries. All right, I'm making up the lottery things. Now, I know Steve, I have stuff with Steve all the time. I have Chuck's address in the computer. Spencer, I'm not sure if you've bought stuff from us. So if you haven't, you're going to have to somehow email me or something your address so I know where to send this. All right, anybody else? I got these 3. They're ready to go.
Anybody else? Final call.
And I mean, I'm definitely not giving to Costas. He was threatening me last week. He was threatening to move to New Jersey.
Oh my word.
And then every day he was going to come here and ask me 5 million Vanagon questions just to drive me totally crazy. I mean, that's What is that all about?
Number one, Costas.
I mean,
of all
number
the places
one,
to move to in America, New Jersey should be
told-
on the very bottom of your list.
I told him, I said, listen, he lives in Greece. He lives on an island in a really nice, location.
You probably live in a location people come
I said, if you were coming,
America.
if you were coming here, like, I would be going over there. Like, it would be like a swap situation going on. Like, oh, I want to come to America to see snow or something. Like, okay, boom, you can come here. Then I'm going to go there and be there chilling on a beach for like a week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Then when you're coming back, I'm flying back. So,
like the two planes are in the air and they like pass each other, and then you're just like waving.
While we're passing each other in the skies things. Yep, pretty much. All right, so
does Mike want his name in there?
Mike, yeah, let's put Mike in here. Let's put Mike and Eyes on in here. I don't know why he's not saying anything. All right, so we got 4 peeps. Anybody else want to be in here? I mean, I haven't really even tried this myself, but this hand cleaner. I'm assuming it's great. I was going to open it, but I don't want to crack the seal if we're going to mail it. It's still got it probably smells like Germany. Ah, Germany. The fatherland. Okay. And like I said, it's weird because it doesn't actually have the sand like you normally would see.
I wonder if they would have that at Lidl.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a German grocery store now.
And apparently, like, people are protesting it, and it's stupid.
Yeah, it's a union deal thing. In New Jersey, you can make really good money working in a grocery store as a checkout person and they have unions and everything. That's why. So we have a German grocery store. They're not doing the union thing, and people are protesting it. But it's actually the union people are being paid to protest it. Where are we at?
Chris Naren says either us or US. So I'm assuming
USA.
Yes.
All right. So we got Chris. Let me write him down.
And Costas is just like, I'm evil. Like flame emojis next to that.
Nice. All right. Costas.
I mean, at least you're honest and open.
At least he's honest that he's so evil. I mean, he likes to murder cats. I know that. And they jump off his roof or something. I don't know. He sent me anti-cat videos.
Wow.
Tell me how to make cats go away from my yard. All right, so we have got. All right, Mike is watching. He says his hands are clean. All right, that's always good to know, Mike.
That's very nice.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's not like Mike doesn't have 700 hand cleaners probably at his house. I have like all kinds of stuff here too, plus gloves and everything else. All right, so I guess we're going to close it. So we have Chris. We have Mike Haneyes, we have Steve DeRuiter, we have Spencer, and we have Chuck Ott. All right. And we have a toll-free person that's going to call apparently. But we are declining that right now because we're in the midst. We're getting ready to do our Christmas present giveaway. I'm going to put these into my cereal combi hat. We're going to mix them up. And then we're going to get our little magical elf over here. He hates that. Our magical elf to pull it out without looking at it. Don't look.
If anything, I'm
hanging it up here.
I'm a hobbit. Okay?
So we got 2.
Hobbits.
We're doing 2.
Start together.
Like I said, if you are a viewer tomorrow, you write a nice comment in the comments that it says you want it and you're in the USA.
I picked 2.
And we will do another drawing for the 3rd one for tomorrow.
Texas Boys is on. Say hi.
Hi, it's Texas Boy, guys.
Okay, so
we got Mike Haneyes, and we also have Spencer. Okay, so Spencer, if we haven't dealt with you before with stuff and things, you can send us your. You can send me an email at sales, SALES, at vanagan.com, and let me know your address, and we will mail this out to you. I'm going to go ahead and send these out like priority mail. I got Mike's address in the computer. He buys stuff from us. Sometimes, occasionally things. Okay, so there you go, guys. That's the Christmas presents. Now, next week is going to be our giveaway for our Patreon subscribers. Okay, I have a link in the description for our Patreon page. If you want to go there and help us out on a regular basis, the Patreon thing is nice. If you want to send us a Christmas card, okay, or you want to send us a little Christmas present, you can do that very easily through our addresses on our website, okay. So all kinds of stuff you guys can do, and we definitely appreciate all your support through the toll-free number was this lady Linda in California who was watching us. So Linda, what I can say, she's having a hard time with the chat for some reason. I would say go ahead and just put a comment on this video after it's done and post it up, and we will put you in the thing for tomorrow, okay, for the hand cleaner. We will draw a name out of all of the people who are in the USA and are would like to be considered for the hand cleaner. Every nice comment, they will go in, and then we will pick somebody, and I'll announce that in the comment section, okay, tomorrow, who won that. But for all you guys, I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Spend some time with your family and friends. Think about the word Christ in Christmas, right? That's the whole point of it. And if you don't know about that, you can go and do research on it, because that's the thing, okay? But we appreciate you folks. We appreciate all your support. Appreciate you buying stuff from us, just taking good care of us. This year was one of our best years we've ever had, and we look forward to 2018. Hopefully these new projects we're talking about will be helping out Vanagon people and be able to help some of you folks out. So you guys have a great weekend. Have a great Christmas, and we will see you next Friday for our next live stream. All right, guys, have a great one. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week.